Good evening, everybody, and welcome along to European Racing Series Tier 2 Season 7. And we are here for round number 19 at the Circuit of the Americas in Austin, Texas for the United States Grand Prix. It's been held in many venues since F1 was in existence, such as Watkins Glen, for example, Long Beach, and many more. And the famous Indy, which we're not going to talk about, the 2005 Grand Prix. Texas hasn't been around long, first held at this circuit in 2012. With it first being built in 2010. 5 races won by Mercedes in the hybrid era, many more to come, I would expect. My name is Jess and I will be your commentator for tonight's race, and we'll go through the standings in just a little bit. But without further ado, we'll have a quick rundown of the track. It's 5.5 kilometers long, 20 turns, 9 to the left and 11 to the right. There are 2 DRS zones for overtaking, one at the start-finish straight at the steep hill going towards turn 1, and one at the back straight of turn 11 heading towards turn 12. So there's a few things to point out actually about this circuit, but I'm not going to tell you until we get into the racing. So you can hear the game sound, and without further ado, all that's left for me to do is show you the action. So here we are in qualifying. No one has set a lap time yet. An interesting fact about this track, there are 66 gear changes per lap, which is quite astonishing, to be honest. And there are 28 racing laps here tonight with a distance of approximately 154 kilometers. And the tyres we have on offer here this evening is the C4s, the C3s and the C2s. So the C4s are the soft tyres, which we can see on board in Furbal's car, and the mediums, which is C3s, hards, which is C2s. So we've got quite a few newcomers to the league, and one of which is on pole position, which is Freeware in the Racing Point. I believe he got moved down from Tier 1 to Tier 2, so it'll be interesting to see how he fares down in the lowest hill. He might be a new driver altogether as well. Domi's back this week after a week off, and after his performance in Russia, I expect him to be very, very, very fast as well. He did have a few penalties from the stewards a few races ago. So that is something to bear in mind, that he doesn't pick up any penalties here, because it's one of the tracks where invalidations are quite common, I have got to say. So something to keep an eye on as well. We've got Scars in here this week as well. We've got quite a few reserves this week. 17 drivers, not quite the full grid that we were expecting. Ben is filling in for, I think it's Burke. No, it's not. It's Burke in a Mercedes he's filling in for, because Seth is here, obviously. So here he is. He's in the pits. There's no point in me following him. So it gives me a good chance to talk to you about the championship standings, since there's not many things going out on track. So obviously, Bitto has been crowned your champion for quite a bit now, and he doesn't need to turn up for the last few races, but he's turning up anyway. He's on 285 points, and there's a 147 point gap over TX606 in second. TX606 is on 138 points. Third place is Harvard with 89 points. Fourth place is Kalissa with 77 points. Fifth place is Domi with 73 points. Sixth place is Sebi with 69 points. Seventh place is Racebud with 54 points. Eighth place is Max Vaughan with 40 points. Ninth place is Valu with 36 points. And 10th place is Nixana with 30. 11th place is Meto with 28. 12th place is Furball with 27. 13th is Scars with 25. He only joined in Japan, and he got a really good victory in Japan. Set in 14th with 23. 15th is Burke with 18. He's a driver that cannot make it tonight. 16th is Rafa with 17 points. 17th place is Roms with 8. And 18th last place is Birkin on 3 points. So, is anyone going to be on a lap? I don't think so. But just a few things to mention, to be honest with you. It's had a rocky road around USA, to say the least, especially 2005. And you can really start to push the cars to the very limit around here. But the softs, you can do soft to mediums around here. It is possible. On the last game, it was not as possible to do that. But on this game, it's definitely more possible. So I will talk a little bit about strategy later on. This is actually the first race of 2021. So hopefully everyone has had a great New Year so far. I wonder if any of you guys have automatically said 2020 yet. I've said that quite a few times in real life, and I'm probably going to say that a few more times before. So I'm going to try and find someone that I could go on a lap with that is furthest to finish one. It might be set actually, but I'll double check. Yes, it is set. So I'll keep on board with him as well, unless Racebug is on a lap. Is he further away? No, he's not. So yeah, set is the one, which is the one and we can follow with to start a lap. Now, some corners can really blind the drivers. Some corners actually remind me of Turn 1 Australia because of how the sun is directly pointed on the track. And there's a bit more shadows here tonight. And this corner, especially the last sector, is a bit understeery as hell, to be honest. And if these drivers get it wrong, it can really compromise their lap. So, let us get on board with a lap time. You haven't missed much, James, for those of you that are wondering. So, let's go on board with a lap then around this beautiful track. So, let's just go on TV pod. So, this is an uphill left-hander. You just got arriving at 195 miles per hour. You're now approaching the Essex section. You can take turn 4 flats, but you need to lift in turn 4 and 5. Staying in 7th gear just a little bit now. Going up into 5th gear here. 4th gear, and you're about to head towards turn 7. A little bit of a slide from set, actually. So I don't think it's going to be his fastest lap as he heads towards the kink of turn 10. It's flat out, but it's now, so you need to make sure you need to use the right line to get through. For the turn 11, you brake at the 100 metre board. Turn 12 is one of the main overtaking points on the circuit. You're about to approach that now. DRS wide open. The straight procedure is so long, you usually be completely past it before the braking zone. And now you're approaching, you need to treat turn 13 and 14 as one long right-hander, which it technically is actually. I don't know why it's 2 turns in itself. And now turn 15 and 16, another pair of corners that you have to treat as one turn. You can take a lot of curb on entry. Turn 17 to 19 is very thrilling actually. And your tyres could be very worn if you don't get this right. So here comes Set as he goes into the pits. And unfortunately the curse continues of me commentating on a lap that is not right. Okay, I was going to go on board with Jamie, but unfortunately, he has the rev glitch, so unfortunately I could not do that. So that's a bit of a shame, of course. But anyway, Scars is going towards that right apex, to the right a little bit, and then into the left a little bit as well, coming towards the final corner. And what lap is he going to set? It is a 130.0, which puts him in P2. 129 to 128 is what we could expect from the drivers tonight as I move myself out of TV pod. There we go. And I do expect everybody to set their lap on the softs. I don't think anyone's going to set their laps on the mediums. Bitto may try a last to first strategy. There was a few drivers in the tier 2 chat that did say they were going to do a last 2 challenge, but they never did. So I wonder if they're going to try that strategy in maybe Abu Dhabi. That's probably what they're going to do. But definitely not here. So we'll have to find out how that goes. Roms actually goes into P4. Roms has had a little bit of bad luck as of late, and he does admit that he could have got higher results in some circuits if he didn't mess up in certain parts of the track, especially around Russia, where he was very, very unlucky with a disconnect. He got P6 last week though, which is really, really good, and he's hoping to capitalise on that as well in the Ferrari. And who remembers a few years ago where Kimi Raikkonen ended his winningless streak for a long time, and he won the race here. Will Roms be able to do that tonight? He comes across the line in P4, and that's an example where people could invalidate their lap if they're not careful. Max Thorne is still yet to set a lap time in the Williams, so let's follow on board with him. And for those of you that were watching the social medias earlier on, they've got a new extended partnership with Mercedes with more bonuses like gearboxes and stuff, which starts in 2022. I'm not going to go into too much detail because I don't know too much about it, but it's great to see that Mercedes and Williams are working together just a little bit, which is quite nice. And I think it was something that they were working towards for quite a long time, actually, as well. So it's great to see that coming to fruition here today, as Max Ford, in true Max Ford fashion, has unfortunately invalidated his lap time. So I'm guessing he is going to go into the pit lane. And anyone else on a lap? Maybe TX. I was going to say TX did invalidate, but that was his out lap. So TX second in the championship. Does he have another win already in his sales? I think he does, actually. I would say, when I was looking at his thoughts on the track, I would say this could be one of his strongest. But he is currently sitting in P7 at the moment, so maybe he's not showing his true pace. And yes, Kolesa Bito was crowned champion in Russia after one of the drivers could not make it full time, so they had to drop down to reserve driver. So yeah, that is the case, Kolesa. So Kolesa has been champion for quite a long time. All the other tiers still yet have champions to be decided. Obviously, our tier has had a champion for quite a bit, actually, and has probably been one of the most dominant champions I've ever commentated on in a long time in a European series, in a European league. So yeah, just to answer a bit of your questions. So 4 minutes left to go, as we do see quite a few people on their lap times, as we're seeing Ben heading towards turn 7. Now, I have to say, he has changed his gamer tag. He was before known as Verstappen, but now he's just Ben, which is going to probably be easier for commentators in other leagues to pronounce his name. So yeah, that'll be a lot easier for him, and maybe he will have less bottles with this gamer tag. Just saying. But anyway, and yes, Kolesa Bito will most likely be moving to I think I just jinxed Ben. I just jinxed Ben, which I feel quite bad about. But anyway, Bito, I think, is possibly moving to tier 1 next season. So I'll be interested to see how he does there. But at the moment he's here. Will probably be a few races where he may get the opportunity to show his worth in tier 1. I think he may be running no ABS tonight. I'm not entirely sure, but obviously tier 2, you are allowed to run ABS. And pretty much all other assists, whereas tier 1, it's just line only, I believe. Unless they have plans to remove assists altogether, which I think that could be a good idea, but probably people are gonna complain about that. So, but Rafa is on the lap now in the Haas car. Yes, that could get blind. Let's go on board, actually, to see the pure blindness. And luckily, it's not as blindly. I think the sun has gone down a bit. He's got a bit of slipstream from Racebug. I don't think Racebug was meant to give him a bit of slipstream there. But Rafa was like, yes, thank you very much. That definitely helped me a little bit more. As Rafa's gone purple, sector 2 because of it. So it may just be a glitch of the game, but we will have to find out, as well as he's gone past turn 15 and 16. And I don't think anyone's going to beat Freeware's time at the moment. Domi's gone close with a 129.9. Scars is in third with a 130.0. Roms is fourth with a 130.2. And Ben is fifth with a 130.4. And what that translates to in terms of gaps, around about 8 tenths between the top 6, 9 tenths between the top 7, and about a second between the top 8 then. And Scars on his out lap as well. Another driver who I expect to do well again tonight. Could he be the person to get 2 wins from 2? I think he can. And someone random has joined the lobby. I don't think that was meant to happen, but hopefully he does leave the session. And as Raggy would like to say, it is heading towards the calm before the storm moment, where the drivers are going to give it their absolute best to put in the best lap times that they possibly can. And we do see Racebug retire for the session, so he probably is in the pits and probably has had enough. I think I did see a Mercedes in the pits, I believe that's Set. Yeah, Set's in the pits, so he's not going to set a lap time in time unless he corner cuts like for Narnia. But an out lap does obviously take longer than others. So We've got 1 minute remaining of the session. Bitto's still on the medium tyres, so I'm guessing he's probably going to go for the alternate strategy, but he's not going to do it like that, as he has just invalidated his outlap. And he's going to go into the pits, cheeky devil. So he is going to start last on the grid. So, has any of your predictions changed for pole position? Let me know in the chat. That'll be great to see. And I do see a few people coming across the line, one of which is a Renault driver of Harvard. So let's see if he can match up against the top 5. He goes into P7. Next is a Williams car, and that's either Max or Birkin. And that is Birkin, who is a lot ahead than the lap. And then it's a Red Bull. So I'm going to try and see which Red Bull it is. A set as retired. So here comes Birkin then. The other Williams car. Can he go higher than his Williams counterpart at the moment? At the moment, yes. But he's 2.5 seconds behind the rest of the field. We do have a Ferrari coming across the line as well. Nope, that is Valu has invalidated his lap, unfortunately. So that leaves the AlphaTauris of Niksana. So Niksana then has been looking quite strong as of late, but he needs to improve on his consistency. So, Niksana then, oh! I thought that would be an invalidation there, but no, that puts him into P4. Let's see how his teammate does of Scars, as he has invalidated, unfortunately. And he spins! Oh, that was close. Domi goes into the pit lane, so we can't improve. I don't think many people can improve, actually, apart from... maybe Ben. No, Ben's invalidated. Okay, so no one else can improve, guys. Unless you're TX, maybe. How did he avoid that? I don't know. But... And he improves by 3,000. So he just puts it in the top 10. And someone asked in the chat, could you join? No, unfortunately, this is a league already. That has loads of people. So, but who knows? You could join next season, potentially, as well. We only got 4 more, including this one, we have 4 more races to go of the season. So, if you guys want to join, you're more than welcome to when sign-ups open in about, I don't know when sign-ups open, actually. It'll be good to know. But anyway, let's go through your order then for the drivers in qualifying. So, it's Freeware that's been on pole for quite a bit, actually, for quite a long time, since probably the very start of the session, with Domi in second with a 129.9. Everyone else has gone into the 130, so Scars in third, Niksana fourth, Roms in fifth, Hydrodan actually had a very good qualifying in sixth, Rafa seventh, Harvard eighth, Ben in ninth, and TX rounds up your top 10. And the ones that have free choice of tyres are Set, Valu, Furball, Racebug, Birkin, and the 2 people that have not set a lap times is Max Vaughan and Bitto. And yes, Roms, Freeware's first lap was his best lap. So, he's got a lot of free tyre choices to use, unless he went on a lap already, which I don't know what's happened. And we got completely sunny skies at the moment, but you never know on this game. Cody's may throw a spanner in the works, as Cody's often do. So it may be sunny now, but it may turn darker later on. But usually, I don't like to ask the drivers for the weather now. And Rom said in the chat, you'll take 5th. Oh, that's great to hear at the moment. So, like I said earlier, I would go through the strategy for you about the pit windows, because I do have it written down on my trusty sheet. I always like to prepare before the stream because I'm a good commentator. So the most likely strategy tonight will be soft to mediums. They would pit around lap 10 to 12 to go onto the medium tyre. Or there'll be a few people that would want to go a little bit more conservative. They want to go a little bit more conservative, and they would want to go on to the hard tyre lap 7 to 9. Now, it looks like we have a little bit of lobby issues, so I'm going to wait to see what happens, but hopefully it's not. And it's dry or race. I should have looked at the chat. I always look at the chat on the stream. It's dry or race. So, yeah. I think... Oh, it's Roms that's been having the issues. Okay. So, hopefully Roms could join, I think, at the start of the race. His car's still there. So, he should be able to join just about the start there. So that means the strategy that I did say to you all is pretty much the same. So I am going to check Discord actually to see if we are still going away with the race, which we are. We've had no other messages. And it is Roms' game that was crashed. So that does respond to that one as well. And some drivers are saying that there might be some desync issues. So apologies if you see some cars on top of each other. So we'll have to find out very soon. Luckily, Roms has just joined, so we could get this race underway soon. So soft to hards, lap 9 to 11. I think with this tier, I think soft to hards could be the most viable. But we see Valu, Furball, Max Ford and Bitter on the mediums, and Racebug and Birkin on the softs. The ones who have free tyre choice, and as well as sets as well. Obviously, the top 10, they will have to start on the tyres that they set their fastest lap on, which is the soft compounder tyre. I will need to check at some point about the Constructors' Championship, because I do believe the Constructors' Championship's still yet to be decided. I will need to do some math probably after the stream. I don't know, but we'll see anyway. And let us know where you're watching from in the chat as well. It's time to get your popcorn out, because this is the first European Racing Series race of 2021. And I'm sure it is going to be an absolute banger. Good luck to all the drivers. And thank you to you guys for watching. Hopefully you'll stick around for the whole 28 laps of this United States Grand Prix, situated in the Circuit of the Americas in Austin, Texas. And I'm very, very excited for this one. The last race I commentated in the USA, it was a charity race, and it was an absolute cracker. So I'm sure this one is going to be no different. So we're just waiting for the last few drivers to join. Hopefully Roms could take control as quickly as he can as well. And I think it's just Bitto. And the 5 red lights are coming on your screen. Roms, no, it's Freeway on the left, Domi on the right, and it is lights out on the way we go. And we do have a little bit of desync, as it's not Roms that is leading the race. It is Freeway, but Freeway has got a very good start heading in towards turn 1, and a few people have dropped in tandem, as Nick Sarno's got a very good start up into P2 already. And hopefully the timing tower will sort itself out very, very soon, because this is going to be very, very hard to commentate otherwise. But it has sorted itself out, so all is good. But yeah, looks like most people have got away cleanly, but a few people have dropped down in positions. And Roms' delta, I think, will not change for a little bit. But Freeway is already dominating Domi with 8 turns per second. So that goes to show that the gap is quite close. Well, it's quite dominant already for Freeway at the moment. And it is an MRL 1-2 at the moment, as someone has just pointed out in the chat. And Slowscars tries to get a move around the inside of Roms, and that is Slowscars' upper position. We've got a few people that have lost positions down the field, as we've got the 2 Williams cars fighting just past turn 15 and 16. And Max Thorn has the edge on his teammate as Max Thorn goes in to P15. And more battles as well ahead. We've got... I was going to go involved in a battle as Max has just hit the wall and he's out of the session. And are we going to have a safety car? And that is, I think, Max's wheel completely gone. And, yeah. And we got a few more position dropouts as well. So that is Harvard as well that's dropped a few positions. Unless it's the timing tower changing rapidly. But yeah, I am surprised it was a VSC, but probably because Max Thorn's crash was off the circuit. Then yeah, and it kind of did look intentional, because you could have definitely stopped that, but you never know. That will probably be looked at after the race. And yes, Matt, it was a spinola that happened there. So yeah, so let's see what Roms can do past Rafa heading into the chicane there. And now heading into the DRS trays. I'll get my telemetry enabled there as well. There we go. So let's see what Roms can do. We've got Nixana and Domi actually going for a move out the inside. Nixana gets the move done perfectly on Domi. And Nixana is already up into P2 already. Very much improved racecraft. They've still go both side by side into 13 and 14. A very long right-hander. Now heading towards turn 15 and 16. Domi making a mistake there. And that will allow Nixana to get the position back on him as well. We got Hydrodan as well. That's had a fantastic start up into 4th place. And he's just hanging in there, ready to take advantage in the McLaren with his lovely looking helmet. By the way, as Nixana has picked up the first penalty of the race, and I did say it could be penalty central around here, just like we've seen in Russia a few rounds ago. I was going to say a few weeks ago, but obviously the last Russia race was in 2020, same with Japan, of course. Go up the hill then. Oh, a little bit late on the brakes there, but Hydrodan is just waiting for the perfect moment. Rom did as well. Roms is looking, I think, a lot faster than Scars in this on the soft tyres. You never know, it could change once they go onto the mediums or the hard tyres. And the S section is very hard to make an overtake. And if you do make an overtake around the S section, then you are a very brave driver. So let's see then what the Tifosi would think of Roms, of course. Tifosi watching in Italy, of course. And obviously the people here don't have masks, so typical. Put your mask on, guys. Only joking. It was developed in before the coronavirus era, so I understand, of course, and it is not reality. So, but anyway, we got some battles in the background as well, as we do have a yellow flag as Harvard Bitto is already making his way up the field, and it's just got past Value, and he's up into P11 already. Don't forget, Bitto did start from last place at the moment, and he's trying to make his way up the field. Bitto, I think, is a very good contender for the win of this race, even though he's lower down the grid, because this is one of the tracks where the alternate strategy could work as well. I was watching a charity race again where someone was near the back of the grid and he went to finish second. So, you know, anything could happen. So Bitto could potentially get driver of the day. And is apparently Max retired due to his wrist giving in there. So a bit of a shame for him. So that is another retirement to add to Max's books. Meanwhile, Racebug is around about, just got past Value again. And he's going to chase down Bitto for 11, which is going to be very, very hard. But the deltas, I would say, for the softs is starting to even out between the softs and the mediums in a few laps' time. Roms, I believe, has just got past Slow Scars, or Slow Scars is going to try and get past Roms then. With a late lunge from Scars there, and it looks very, very promising for him. Don't forget, Scars only joined in the last race in Japan and was looking very, very promising. Is he going to show the same pace here today as well? We got Rafa as well, almost looking for a move as well, heading into turn 12. And Rafa looking very, very good as well. Rafa has had some poor performances towards the first half of his season, but he's been consistently, if he's been in a point, he's been consistently in the top 7, which has been good in the last few races. He did have one DNF though in Singapore. Let's hope the DNF does not work for him. We do have a yellow flag. That is Value, who's had a bit of an off there. And Furball has not had the best of races either, because Furball has went into the pits earlier on. And Harvard has Harvard has dropped position as well, and as he has gone for a Spinaroonie, and typically Harvard has the number 69 on his car. I wonder how long that's going to last in this race. And you can see the gap is stretching for Freeware and Domi at the moment. It is 1.7 seconds. So Domi has got a lot of work to do to try and catch up to Freeware, of course. And Nixana in 3rd. There's no way they can catch up to Domi. So that must mean Domi got past him. And Hydrodan is closing up at his heels as we speak at the moment. So just past turn 11, and now heading towards turn 12 as Hydrodan. Is he going to look around the inside potentially? No, not quite. But I think Xana was a little bit too late to react there. So it's going to be very tight towards the long right-hander. And it's going to be, I think, Nixana for the taking. Nixana has a better run. Hydrodan almost was pushed off the circuit there. That's not what you want to do. Just past turn 15 and 16. Heading in towards 18 and 19 now. I've skipped a few corners, but I'm losing track of the corner names. The corner numbers. Sorry, I do apologise. But Hydrodan now, 6 tenths. Anything could happen. Hydrodan, though, is in an AlphaTauri sandwich. And interesting fact, actually, in my career mode, David, in my team, David Croft called AlphaTauri AlphaTauri. And I was like, no, David Croft, you do not pronounce AlphaTauri AlphaTauri. It's AlphaTauri. So, yes. And Furbo and Valley have not pitted. It was just my imagination. So, I do apologise there. Bitto is getting held up by a lot of the drivers at the moment as Harvard has retired from the session, and to be honest, for Harvard it was inevitable, and he does retire from the pit lane, so I think he's given up, which is a bit of a shame. Now we've got a big DRS train starting to form at the moment from, I would say, we got one from Hydrodan, Nixana, Hydrodan, Scars and Roms, and then we've got, I think, Ben going for a move as well. Let's let me go on board because this view is hard to comprehend as Rafa is trying to defend the position of Ben. Ben was in P8 and now he's moving up himself up the order into P7. So for him, he's back to where he started, because I think he qualified P7, I believe, or it might be P8. Again, I'm losing track. So let's look at the position changes at the moment. Nope, he started P9, so he's gained 2 positions. My bad. So he's one of the gainers, as well as Hydrodan that's gained 2. Nixana's gained 1. Rapper's got a 3-second time penalty. TX has gained 1. Bitto has gained 7, but that is to be expected. Racebug has gained 3. And Birkin has gained 3. The biggest losers: Scars down 2, Rom's down 1, Rafa down 1, Set down 2, Valley down 2, Verbal down 2. So a little bit of even Stevens there. And obviously Harvard dropped down 8 due to his retirement. Hydrodan looking very racy at the moment. This could be his second opportunity. More time penalties are starting to emerge from the drivers, so anything can happen. And it looks like Roms was spicing things up for an attack on Scars, it looked like. And he's been looking very impressive. The number 90 car. Heading towards turn 11 now. Let's go on board with him actually to see if he can go for the move. You'll almost be going around about 195, 200 miles per hour. And the Ferrari sound does sound good in this track, doesn't it? And again, a lock up from Roms. And we go to the action because Rafa's dropped down another position. He's dropped down 2 positions actually, because obviously Ben overtook him and TX overtook him as well. And it looks like he's going to lose another one to Bitto as Bitto goes around the left-hand side of the track there. But they're still going to go side by side. It looks like Rafa is not giving Bitto an easy time, I've got to say, which is a fair play. And that's Bitto up a position, and Bitto's up into 9th position. So there we go. And pit windows will come in a few laps' time. And I've got to say, with the way these guys are trying to make these tyres last, it looks like a majority of the soft runners are going to be pitting around lap 10 for the mediums, which is, I said, would be the most common. As said, did get past Birkin. He's dropped down 1 position and he's trying to gain another one. He's got 4.4 seconds to make up in a space of a few laps before he goes into the pit lane. Scars, though, he's got to have the perfect opportunity now at the moment. Let me get the tyres up again. This is his chance to make the move stick now in the AlphaTauri. But again, he's a little bit too further back. I think the dirty air is not going to help him whatsoever as he is forced to be in that train. And I think the more that these guys fight, the more that the likes that Roms, Ben, TX, Bitto, they're all going to catch up. And we've got a battle there between Scars and Hydrodan heading towards turn 15 and 16. I think one of them got a little bit compromised there on exit. And I think this DRS train is just going to grow and grow and grow because we've got TX, Racebug and Rafa as well. We've got Hydrodan going into the pits, I believe. So he's going to be the first person to blink. And I think Scars is going to pit a lap later. So what is Hydrodan going to go on to? He's going to go on to the hard tyres. So that is a bit of a shock for Hydrodan. I think he's being a little bit... I think he's probably wanted to take it a bit conservative potentially as well. That may probably make the other drivers worried and give them second thoughts like, right, what tyres should I go onto, sorry. But to be honest, soft to mediums is doable if you pit at the end of lap 10. So that's probably why Hydrodan, he was probably struggling on his soft compounded tyres and he was like, you know what, I don't want to lose any more time. So he is going to stay put. That puts him down in P14. Meanwhile, Bitto is gaining another position, and on those mediums, I think the mediums is a lot higher delta than the softs, is a lot faster than the softs at the moment. So that's why the crossover point is important, and that's probably going to prompt the guys that have been overtaken by Bitto to pit. And Bitto could line up for an overtake on Roms as he did on Ben. So if I was Ben, TX, Racebug, Set, Birkin, I would pit now. I would pit now, go into the pits and see what tyres they go onto. And I don't think any of them are going to. So they're going to wait until the end of lap 10. Nixana, though, he is blinking and he's pitting. I'm guessing Scars and Nixana are in the pits at the moment. And it's nice to have a driver's perspective in the chat. And yeah, I agree. Softs, they are not... Wait, Nixana on the softs? So Nixana started on the softs and he's going on to the softs. So is Nixana doing a two-stop strategy? Was he meant to go on those tyres? Because he might have made a very bad mistake. Maybe he's hoping for a safety car. But if there is a safety car, everybody else could go on the softs. But he can't because he started on the softs. Because you have to, obviously, do the race on at least one different compound. You can't just do soft-soft. That is impossible. So that is a big rip for Nixana in the chat. So, yeah, get your F to the chat for Nixana. Or it might have been what he's got planned all along. I don't think, though, the two-stop is faster. Let us know in the chat. So I know a lot of you have done more races in USA than me, so you probably have a little bit more of an idea. So, yeah, I always think that the one-stop is faster around here. So, yeah, I would say Nixana's got a lot of work to do. He's going to be faster at this point in the race, but later on in the race, he's going to struggle with, obviously, the crossover period, with everyone else probably going to be overtaking him. So, and he's going to be too late to give him it anyways. Yes, I agree. So, Freeware in the pits. Domi in the pits. Scar, everyone has got penalties apart from a few drivers. Ben somehow not getting penalties. Neither is TX either. And I know TX does not get penalties either. So Ben is staying out. So is Bitto. And so is Roms then. So I assume Bitto is going to overtake Roms straight away. But you never know what could happen around here. So Freeware comes out way ahead of Domi. About 4.1 seconds. More than that, probably. So, that's interesting. And Domi has got out ahead of Nixana. And way ahead of Hydrodan. So, Hydrodan, he's not doing too bad on the hards, though. Catching up to Furball. So, in a way, this could be a conservative strategy, which could pay off when the medium starts to die towards around lap 25, 26. And his tyres could still be in good knit. But we'll see. TX on 2 warnings. Thank you very much for that. I do believe... Are you Jeffy for TX? I'm not entirely sure. As Roms gets overtaken by Bitto, so Bitto is now your race leader. He's not your net race leader. Your net race leader is Freeware, and in the net P2, it's Domi. And in the net P... Well... And Nixana just goes ahead of Domi, but he's on the fresher tyre. Ow! Nixana He's going to be very, very careful. He just goes off the track. It was almost an unsafe rejoin at the moment. And yeah, TX did get a penalty. Okay. I think we're seeing more people get penalties at the moment. And to be honest, I won't be surprised if everybody on the grid tonight will get penalties. So Roms, Ben, Racebug, everyone that's been on the soft tyres is going into the pit. I won't be surprised. No, Set's staying out then. Set, I think the main reason why Set is staying out because obviously his teammate Ben has gone in. He was ahead of him, so he had first priority. So, and he'll probably lose more time than coming into the pits and staying out. So that is a bit unfortunate for Set, but what can you do? So I think TX has jumped Roms and Ben. So with TX pitting, or did they jump into pits? Maybe Ben or Roms got held up. I don't know. It might have been TX being ahead of them anyway. Really, really hard to tell around here as well. But yes, they had an interesting comment in the chat as well that the softs are lasting quite a bit longer than intended for someone to drive it, including Set as well. But as my mic almost decided to deteriorate there, I do apologise. But yes, Set is struggling in some places, in particular turns 11 and 12. As you can see, Valu on those mediums, it's going to be, I think, an easy pass for Valu there, heading into the right-hander, and there he goes, Valu up into third. So Set needs to come in now, and the mediums will almost certainly go to the end of this race if you pit now. And the ones who have been staying on the mediums since the start of the race, so that is Bitto, Valu, and Furball. When will these guys pit? They'll probably pit because obviously the softs last 12 laps. So they may pit soon as Set comes in as expected. And hopefully you'll have a clean pit stop as he goes on to the mediums as well. The only one on the hards for the ones that just pitted were Hydrodam. So, and Furball's out the race. Furball's out the race. So he has retired in the pit lane by the looks of it. Or did he? He's been stationary for quite a bit, so it is impossible to tell. But there is no VSC or safety car, so I'm assuming he has retired from the pit lane, ladies and gentlemen. So the order is jumbled up a little bit, but it won't be jumbled up once everyone else decides to go into the pit. And I think Furball was not happy with that whatsoever there. So that was a bit of a shame. And Freeware must be loving life in his first race in Tier 2 at the moment. Showing he's getting a little bit of a taste of what he could be this season. Maybe if he's in Tier 2 next season, he could potentially be one to watch. As a Hydrodan has been passed by Scars on the fresher tyre. Nixana is having a nice battle with Domi once again. Domi winning off the track a little bit of the racing line, and Nixana having a perfect line. But yeah, Nixana will have to pit again. He started on the softs and he's on the softs again, so he will have to pit for those of you that are wondering. So we are halfway into this race already, and it's been quite an interesting one in terms of the strategy calls that these drivers have been making at this stage. As the number 22 car is doing all he can to try and take advantage of Nixana. So in a few laps' time, I would assume Domi could get past him, or Domi. I will get your name right eventually. I do apologise, but yeah, don't forget, we still got a few more rounds left to go, because we got this round, then we got Mexico next week, then we got Brazil the week after, and then the week after that, we've got the final round in Abu Dhabi. I was trying to think there. I had a little bit of a mind blank, but I'd always think that the last round should be Brazil, but there we go. It probably does not happen. Meanwhile, Freeware overtakes Bitto, but Bitto is definitely not giving Freeware an easy time at the moment. So they're going side by side, heading towards 14, and now towards the long right-hander of turn 15 and 16. Looks like Freeware just has the edge there at the moment. So as soon as Freeware crosses the line, we'll approach the halfway stage. with 14 laps to go. And in a few laps' time, Bitto will probably go into the pits. So I'm looking at the gaps to leader then. So if I do that now, where would Bitto come out? So he would potentially come out, I would say, if I look at the pit loss time a second, I know there's some battles going on. If there are some battles, I'll keep an eye on them. But I would say, I don't think I had the pit loss, 18.5 seconds. So he would come out just, I would say, in between Ben and Racebug, and where Rafa is as well. So between those three cars is where Bitto will come across. So that could be a really good battle. So he can have some nice battles to possibly, potentially, get a podium spot. And yes, it is the alternate strategy at its best here at COTA as well. And unfortunately, we're still getting some rev glitches at the moment. And yes, almost everybody has a penalty. And the ones that... Only one driver is yet to have a penalty, and he's probably breathing down the net that he's trying to not get a penalty. He's right behind Hydrodan. The delta should be better for the medium, so this should be easy for Ben. But again, Hydrodan tries to get the move as well. Ben goes to the left, but he can't get it done at this corner. Maybe at the next right-hander where he could potentially get the move as well. But Hydrodan's tyres are doing very well, fighting with the mediums, but with dirty air, it's not going to work. And that was very close to being an accident between Nixana, but he keeps it on the track. And you can see Nixana's tyres will start to degrade very, very soon, ladies and gentlemen, as they both go side by side. Nixana gets the move done again. Oh my goodness. Domi almost gave me a heart attack there. Him being late on the brakes there as both the cars now head towards the S's section. And I would say Domi has the advantage. That's probably why he's not fighting hard enough, because he knows that Nixana will have to pit. As long as he can stay within touching distance. I'm not going to check how many penalties people have got. I'm just going to leave that for the gods to decide at the moment. Well, not the god, but the game to decide. The game to tell me what the penalties are. Rafa just got himself another one. I would say there was a lot of other tracks where it is penalty central as well. Austria as well. But I always know in USA in every game, it always tends to throw some span in the works. Here comes Domi again. But I think Domi made it a little bit more comfortable, so it just goes to show that Nixana is definitely getting the elbows out here tonight, going side by side. And where Domi is losing it is towards 10, 14 and 15 and 16. He's losing traction, which is allowing Nixana just to get the edge on him. And we're loving to see this helicopter shot there as careful Nixana going side by side once again. Hopefully we could get onto the track a little bit more, game, so I can have a little bit more of an idea of what to expect. Side by side, turn one, they're banging wheels for each other at the moment. And Nixana is just going to have the edge here. Now to the S's section, where if you make an overtake there, like I said, it will be one to remember for many seasons to come in European Racing Series. And Nixana could wait into turn 11. And that's what he's probably going to do as well. His tyres must be boiling hot at the moment, especially on his rear tyre. So I would be absolutely, I would say, worried if I was him at the moment. Right, now we've got the two Red Bulls in a sandwich with Scars at the moment. So Scars could be on line for another move. So Scars gets past Valu. Meanwhile, Nixana gets past Domi once again. But like in true Domi fashion, he's going to try and get the move into turn 14. Which he almost did. And you can see Domi just has a better traction in now. He's learning from his mistakes. And I'm guessing he's taking a much different line, a much different approach to what he has done in the last couple of laps. So that is why he's doing a lot better. So Nick Zana goes into the pits. Well, he has to pit because otherwise he will get disqualified and the softs won't make it to the end anyway. So, what Nick Zana, what tyres did he go? Well, he has to go onto the mediums or the hards. And if I was him, going onto the mediums would be the best option. And he does go onto the mediums. So that means Freeway is your race leader with Domi in second position. Scars in third. TX in fourth. Valu in fifth. Ben in sixth. But Ben, like I said, is the only driver with no penalties. But I will not be surprised if he's got a few warnings. And he's potentially one warning off a pen. But if he gets a penalty, I don't think it'll matter for him much. Because he'll probably stay where he is anyway. So, for him, he's just hungry for more positions, I guess. And, yes, Kalissa has had experience with racing with Nick Zana. And, yeah, racing with Nick Zana is not for the faint-hearted. And here we go. Bito was the one who just pitted onto the soft tyres. He pitted a lap ago. And Bito is already looking good. He's potentially going to get another position soon on Ben as well. 7 tenths is the gap now. And I don't think Bito is going to get the top 2. But I think he's almost certain that if he doesn't get held up, he's going to potentially get a podium here today as well. But I don't think the medium runners is going to make anything look easy. But it looks like Ben has let Bito through. So he probably knows it's not my battle. Bito's on the softer tyres. He's probably going to get past me anyway. And if I don't let him past, my tyres are going to be dead. So that's probably what he's thinking. So that is what he's doing at the moment. Valu, obviously, of course, still yet to pit. So that will push Ben, Hydrodan and Racebug up a position. As well as Rafa too. So Rafa could be on course, be getting points again, which will be great to see. And Valu picking up another 3-second time penalty. As well, this battle could be, and just look at this is probably the biggest margin we've ever seen in a while. We thought Bito's margin was big enough in this league. 17, almost 17 and a half seconds. That is absolutely crazy. Maybe it might have been the wrong decision for him to be put into Tier 1 because he's absolutely flying Freeway at the moment. And Ben comfortably gets past Valu, or does he? Yes, he does. Valu is not picking battles for Ben. And he did exactly the same thing to what Ben did to Bito. So there we go. So Ben is up into 6th position at this moment in time. So everyone has made their pit stop apart from Valu. So once Valu pits, that will be a true representation of position. And then we will find out who will gain some position today. As Racebug gets another penalty. And speaking of Valu, Valu goes into the pit on lap 20. We've only had one VSC at the moment. I don't think we are going to get a safety car unless someone bins it. I hope someone does not bin it. Because we want to see some good racing. And one lap on those tyres, Bito is flying. And I did say he could get a podium. He is on course for a podium. He could potentially get P2 in this race. He will potentially get P2 in this race. Penalties permitting, of course. So let's see what Bito can do. Is it an easy pass? Yes, it is an easy pass for the Renault driver. And they won't be Renault no more. They will be Renault no more as of March. In real life, of course. They're now Alpine or Alpine. And I would like to know what it's actually pronounced so I can get it right once the F1 2021 game comes out. And just like how I got confused with AlphaTauri and David Croft still being called AlphaTauri, but they recorded it, I think, before they knew the pronunciation anyway, so that's probably why we got to give David Croft some slack. But there we go, as Bito has just set the fastest lap of the race, a 1:22.4. I think we know who's going to win the race, but it's going to be hard to tell who is going to be winning the thing. Oh, okay. So I think we've got a raid. So we got a raid at the moment from Yano. So thanks, Yano, for the raid. For those of you that are watching, this is not a typical stream there. It's just a commentary of a league, European Racing Series League, and we're on USA at the moment, and we're seeing a nice battle between Bito and Domi starting to come into fruition. And thank you guys for the follow. The alerts are turned off for this stream, mainly because I would get distracted otherwise. So thank you very much, guys. Wow, the chat is raiding at the moment, so that's good. Meanwhile, Bito, I think, has the edge. Yeah, he has the edge on Domi at the moment. This has not been the best USA races at this moment in time, but hopefully we can get it better as the remaining laps go on. And let us know who you're rooting for, sorry, in the chat at this moment. And for those of you that are wondering, also, everyone has made their mandatory pit stop, so they will be racing for glory at the moment. Valu is on the softs, and he could get down Birkin. Now, I'm going to check penalties. I don't usually check penalties, but I am going to check penalties at the moment, as Valu gets the edge here on Birkin, and Valu moves himself up into P12. And so Freeware's got 3 seconds, Bito has got 3 seconds, Domi has got 3 seconds, Slow Scars has got 3 seconds, TX has got 6 seconds, so has Raceberg, Hydrodan's got 9, Nixana's got the most on 12, but to be honest, it is to be expected. For those of you that do watch my streams, you do know that Nixana does get penalty central as well. And yes, Yano, Freeware's in the lead, and I'm not surprised that you are not surprised that he's doing well. This is his first race in this tier, so, and he's absolutely dominating as well. Who knows, we could see Freeware in F1 esports in the future. And yeah, it's nice to see a regular of yours racing in this league as well. So that's great to see as well. As I think the closest battle we're going to see on track is between Slow Scars and Domi, and it is for position because they're both on 3 seconds worth of penalty. So let me just get the tyre information again, because we do know what the penalties at the moment is on. So, and yes, Freeware is a power player, I believe. I'm not entirely sure, but I'll need to double check on that one. But anyway, we are heading towards lap. We are on lap 23 at the moment. And I don't think Bito's going to get the gap to Freeware, despite his tyres. Just Freeware is just on another level at the moment. So, should be interesting. As Freeware's got a 3 second time penalty, but that's not going to affect him anyway. So does that put him up into 6 seconds? Yes, it does, 6 seconds. So, and Set then, usually Sets and TX are the ones to keep it clean on the racetrack in terms of penalties, but they're not. They be getting more penalties at the moment as Nixana just gets past him. Obviously, Nixana on the fresher tyres. And who has been the driver that's been impressing you so far this race as well? Let us know your thoughts in the chat, of course. And let's see what Slow Scars could do. He could be on for a late lunge here into turn 12. Goes to our right, their left-hand side of the track here. And Domi has the edge on Scars. Domi is defending for his life at the moment. He wants P3 so bad. He was on course for P2, but Bito's alternate strategy OP is helping Bito and not Domi at the moment. But Domi is showing that he's been absolutely consistent so far in this league at the moment. And Domi's going to do all he can to keep up his form of consistency. We got a yellow flag in sector 3. That is a Mercedes. That is Set. That is Set that's binned it. And his left front wing is gone. His right front wing is there though. And he's left the session, so I'm guessing that's a rage quit. But I thought he would have actually retired from the session there, but he is not. So, yeah. I don't think you're meant to do that. Or he might have disconnected, I'm not sure. He might have disconnected his wheel out of frustration if he had a wheel, of course. But there we go. And due to the fact that Scars and Domi are having a battle, it'll allowing TX to catch up as well. And then, whilst we were on board with Set having a spin, his teammate just picked himself a penalty. So, everybody now does have a penalty. So, it is to be expected. I did predict at the start of the race that we were going to be getting everybody that's racing in getting a time penalty. As Slow Scars then, this is attempt number 2 for the AlphaTauri driver. Going side by side into the long right-hander, and now going into the second long right-hander of turn 15 and 16. TX is not that far behind as well. Beto has just picked himself another 3-second time penalty. It's not going to make that much difference, to be honest, at the moment. Domi is just 1/10 behind now. Scars just has the edge now, up into P3. And I wonder if Domi is being rattled a little bit, because TX at the moment is absolutely flying on those tyres. Nick Sarna again picking himself a 3-second time penalty. Scars and Domi going side by side once again. Domi having the upper hand on the left-hand side, getting the better traction. Domi up into P3 and the podium. He can sense the podium at his fingers at the moment. And he's doing very, very well to hold on to it. And nothing's going to change in the top 2, but the positions that matter, he is doing very, very well to hold on to it. And we've got a few more laps to go. Anything can happen. And we'll have to wait and see who is going to get a podium spot and who is not. TX could lose out because Ben is gaining. Ben is gaining. And as long as Ben doesn't get any penalties, he could probably get P5 here. But here we go, Domi. I'm losing track of how many rounds this is, but this is round number 4 or 5, I would say. Probably even more, I would say. As we've been battling every single lap, but this is the main battle that we've been following for, I would say, the majority of the race. As Domi, I think, has to concede just a little bit, but he's going to gain a little bit more on the turn 18 and 19 complex. How are they racing without touching? It's incredible. Great to see. TX is going to join in this as well. And sooner or later, if time permits, maybe Ben could also join this battle as well. And I would say this is going to be very, very spicy towards the end. So if you're watching, don't tune out. This is going to be very, very exciting last couple of laps. Here they go. Those two are going side by side in the S's section. My, oh my. That is absolutely insane at the moment. Roms getting a 3-second time penalty due to multiple warnings. And race bug as well. Scar's got a 3-second penalty as well. So that could jump more people up the order. Domi and Ben are the only drivers to be on only 3 seconds worth of penalties. But this could change. This could change. Oh my god, I'm losing my will to breathe at the moment, but this is very, very exciting. I know I keep exciting a lot, but this DRS train is absolutely growing right now. As we're on the 3rd to last lap. We're going to forget the top 2. They're running away with it at the moment. They're comfortable, and they're going to get P1 and P2 no matter what the circumstances. This is the battle that we need to watch out for. We're on the final lap. No, not the final lap, sorry. We're on the penultimate lap. There was a few times, well, there was one time in one league, in PSGL, I called the end of the race a lap early, and that was very, very embarrassing, I got to say. Hopefully I won't do that again tonight. That would go down into the history books as one of the most embarrassing moments, but I have to say. As we are going to be seeing then, I think TX is closer at the moment. Ben is not able to catch up at the moment, but if he does catch up, he could still, I would say, he could still, I think, get he could get P4 out of all of this, you know, or even P3 if he's Actually, no, Domi's on 3 seconds, so he won't get P3. So you could potentially get a P4. But I'm worried I'm probably going to jinx him, so I'm not going to say anything more. But we are seeing then battles emerging on our early eyes, but we still got a battle for the points, though. The last points battle is still emerging between Nixana and Valu. But Nixana's not going to get a point because Nixana has got 15 seconds worth of penalties at the moment. So Valu's going to get P10 regardless. So if Valu keeps it on the track, then he could do absolutely fine holding on to that. So Valu, 5 attempts is a gap. 4 attempts. I think he's just going to stay behind, surely. But only time will tell, of course. And I think some of the medium tires are starting to die. That's why a few people are losing a bit of ground at this early stages. But yeah, Freeware has just started the final lap. And to be honest, Freeware could celebrate early at this point. He could just go a little bit slowly coming across the line. He could reverse across the line if he wanted to. But if he does that, he probably may bin it. So he's probably going to play it safe, I've got to say. But yeah, Freeware has driven absolutely phenomenally. We thought we wouldn't get a dominant driver than Bito, but Freeware has shown that he's another dominant driver. Been absolutely fantastic all race long. He's just going past turn 12. But let's watch the battle emerge into the S's section then. It's between a three-way battle then. Who's going to do well? Who's going to dominate? Is it going to be Dummy? Is it going to be Scars? Or is it going to be TX606? Only time will tell. As they head towards the DRS straight. One of the prominent overtaking opportunities. TX, I don't think he'll get the move done. But what about Scars? He's a little bit too further back, but he's getting time into turn 12. Oh, as he was very close on to Domi there. Any later on the race, and that could have been curtains, I would say, for both of those drivers. Freeware comes across the line and he takes the win in style here at COTA. Bito is going to do the same. Phenomenal drive from him as well. From last to second, he's going to get driver of the day almost certainly. As I'll get the position changes. Look at that, yeah, 15 positions. That is true testament. I think he was second to last, but there we go. Looks like the battles are not going to change then. So Domi is going to get P3. We know that for a fact, but who's going to get P4? Scars? No, it's Ben, because obviously Ben had less penalties. So we got Freeware in first, Bito second, Domi third. This is the MOL 1, 2, 3, ladies and gentlemen. Crazy that. Ben in fourth. Valu, unfortunately, has retired. So he's not going to get a point. So Nixana, by the skin of his teeth, gets a point. So there we go. So we got TX in 6th, Racebug in 7th, Rafa in 8th, Hydrodan in 9th, and Nixana 10th. Birkin just misses out on points, but he gains P11, so that is good. So I think we're just waiting for Roms to come across the line, and there we go. Wow, that was a spicy last few laps. It was quite in the middle, but it got really good towards the end, and yeah, drive of the day has to go to Bito there. Yes, it had to go to Bito. Now, I'm going to keep an eye on who I'm going to raid. I do have a sneaky suspicion on who I'm going to raid, but I do have an idea, but we'll have to wait and see. And according to someone in the chat, he did spin in the final corner, so on the final lap, that is a bit of a shame there. So here's your running order. We've got 3 different nationalities in the top 3. So Freeware in first, Bito second, Domi third, Ben in fourth. He hasn't bottled it, I've got to say. I haven't mentioned him much this race, and it paid off. Scars in 5th, TX in 6th, Racebug 7th, Rafa in 8th, Hydrodan 9th, Nixana in 10th. And everybody that's finished got penalties. Birkin 11th, Roms 12th, Valu has retired, and also... Did Set retire as well? Or was he a lap down? Valu is classified because he was... yeah, he is classified because he completed more than 90% of the race. So, so Set has also, and your times are Furball, Hazard, and Max Thorn. So, that's been the end of the United States Grand Prix. And before we race someone, I'm going to be going through all the follows that I've got this stream just because I'm nice. So let me just change scenes a little bit. So there we go. So let me just mute the thing. So here we go. We got quite a lot of follows actually. So we've got Cheesecake RL, Stacey, sorry if I say this wrong, Flyo XFN, Adaso, Happy Say IN, Daniel Vera 073, F1 Maximum, Andre, Jones 22, Robert _ 922, Yarn _ Gaming 06, Joshy 175, Fluoro OP, Gabrielle _ more _ G Link and F1, Yorick 0607, and the one who just followed me just now, Cast Angel 148. So thank you guys so much for the follow, and thank you guys so much for watching the United States Grand Prix. It's been a pleasure. We enjoyed it so much. We are going to rate a fellow European Racing Series commentator, Raggy, next. So thank you. Share the love and support, the same love and support that you gave me and Jarno. So yeah, share the love, and yeah, we will see you soon. Have a good evening, everybody, and ta-ra. We will see you soon, I guess.